Donald Cerrone has been heavily criticized for his fight against Conor McGregor, but true MMA fans who have actually followed his career know that Cowboy can be a genius of fighting. After all, how could he not be, when he's responsible for the greatest combo in UFC history? Let's take a look at the special second that made Cowboy Cerrone even more legendary. August 20, 2016. Cowboy, who had won 10 of his last 11 fights at that point, faces Rick Story in the welterweight division. As we know, Donald becomes most dangerous when he's warmed up. At that moment during the second round against Rick, he was clearly at his best. Story throws a straight left, overextending himself in the process. This is a mistake Cowboy won't forgive. He parries the left and it misses his face by half an inch. He opens his eyes and sees Story right where he wants him. Donald starts everything off with a jab, taking the outside foot in the process. That foot position gives him the superior angle of attack and makes him less likely to get countered mid-combo. The jab lands clean, and Story reacts instinctively by lifting his left arm up to protect his face. And this is where the brilliance starts. Look at Story. To say the least, his vision is obstructed. Intentionally or not, Cowboy decides to dive into Story's blind spot. This is the beginning of Cerrone's genius use of momentum. Observe how he lowers his center of gravity, diving forward using his right leg to push. We'll get back to that soon. By dipping his head forward, Cowboy is threatening a few things: an overhand, a punch to the body, or maybe a takedown. Remember, Story has pretty much no vision of Donald, but one thing is for sure, his body isn't protected at all. Cowboy sees the wide open target and attacks it viciously. Story gets caught flat-footed, and he probably never saw the punch coming. His stomach felt it before his eyes could see it. And when that happens, you get hurt. And when you get hurt to the body, you get locked. Just look at that massive impact. This is most likely the most important strike of the combo, because it will heavily affect Rick's defense and body position. Indeed, right after that body piercer of a strike, Story's hands go down and his body is on lockdown, which is understandable because Cerrone put all of his weight into that right hand. And what allowed him to do that is the fact that he actually overextended on that punch. As you can see, his right leg drags on the floor after the strike, but this is all intentional. Remember that momentum we just talked about? For the right hand, Cowboy pushes forward with his right leg, transferring all of his weight forward and slightly to the left. As a result, he crushes Story's body, and now his weight is solely balanced on his left leg. He then brilliantly shifts his momentum with that leg using a very appropriate angle. He pushes up and to the right, still moving forward because of the planned overextension. At that point, Story is flat-footed and badly hurt. The only thing he can do is instinctively lean away from Cowboy. He's holding onto his body for dear life, and Cerrone's momentum, condensed in the left hook, hits him on the face. Tough day on the job for Rick so far, but it's not over. As you can see, Cowboy essentially jumped into that left hook from one leg. His body weight has been transferred up. The dragging right leg and the pushing left leg are now both off the ground. In the middle of that magnificent combo, Cowboy found a way to be light on his feet, and now he can precisely set them up for the last nail in the coffin. Perfectly balanced, he makes sure to take the outside foot one more time, giving him full vision of the target, while allowing Rick Story minimum vision of Donald, and we all know what happens next. A classic Cowboy head kick turns his opponent into a slinky spring. The finish is inevitable. Now I know some people might discredit the brilliance of this combo, citing Rick Story's poor defense, which would be understandable, especially for the head kick. But let me show you a few reasons why Rick was completely baffled by Donald's illustrious combination. First of all, every strike led to the next one. The jab made Story protect his face, opening the body. The straight right made Story protect his body, opening up his head. And the left hook guided Story's head into the head kick, as he was still badly hurt to the body. And let's not forget, the time between strikes was extremely limited. Second of all, the pattern of strikes completely deceived Rick. Imagine you're a hurt fighter and you see this pattern. Left hand, head. Right hand, body. Left hand, head. And you have to determine the next step. Pretty sure you wouldn't instinctively complete the pattern with right kick, head. After receiving 3 clean punches in less than a second, Story probably thought right hand body or right hand head or something like that. Plus, Cowboy helped him think that way because he actually made it look like he was gonna throw a right hand, but of course, he was just measuring the distance with it. When Story leaned away from the right hand, he probably thought he was finally safe. And then the kick came and... oh frick. But a question remains, why didn't he lift his hands up? Well, once you are in that position and a kick is coming, the last thing you want is getting kicked in the body. And as we know, Rick was already badly hurt to the midsection. Even after the left hook, his left hand went up for a split second, and then he was like, nope, back down. That's how hurt he was, all thanks to the massive straight right Cowboy landed. It sounds crazy, but in that particular leaning position, you'd prefer getting kicked in the head. The pain a kick to the body could create is unimaginable. That's why those hands never went up. And that's basically why Cowboy deserves all the credit in the world for that magical combo. 4 clean strikes in about a second. It's almost insane. Truly a special moment in UFC Rick's story. Sorry, Rick. Thanks for watching, guys. I don't usually fish for your support, but exceptionally, I'm gonna ask you to like and share this video, because I'm so freaking tired of reading comments like Cowboy versus Conor was fixed, or Cowboy is a jobber, or he threw the fight for money. No, I just can't take it. Cowboy is a fucking legend, and he should be treated as such. Alright, see ya.